Main characters in conflict. Thinking about the character's struggle. Learning intention. Readers determine who the main character is and the conflict in the story. Success criteria. I will determine the main character and the conflict in a story. I will read a book and think about who the main character is and what conflict or problem he or she is experiencing. You will need your electronic device, a pencil, your reading notebook or journal, and a fiction book to read. Today, I'm going to teach you how to tell who the main character is and the conflict or problem that he or she is going through, because this will help you to understand both the character and the plot better. What is meant by main character? The main character is the person that the story is mostly about. To figure out who the main character is, I need to look at the title and the front cover illustration. While there's usually more than one character in a story, there is one main character that is the most important to the plot. To be sure about who the main character is, I will ask myself, who is doing talking and thinking the most in the story? Reading, ask yourself, who is the main character? Look at the title. Look at the front cover illustration. Ask yourself, who is doing most of the acting, talking, and thinking in this story? In a story, there is always a problem or a conflict. The conflict has to do with the main character. Example of a conflict might be a problem with another character not being able to get something the character wants or not understanding something. Sometimes the conflict is clearly stated. Sometimes it needs to be inferred based on the character's feelings, actions, sayings, or thoughts. While there can be lots of little conflicts or problems in a story, there is usually one big conflict that is centered around the main character. Character conflict. Character is working through to get to what he or she wants. Can be directly stated. It can be inferred. It's based off of the character's thoughts, feelings, actions, and sayings. Amelia's Road. We're going to use Amelia's Road. Just from looking at the name of the title, the main character is probably going to be Amelia. When I look at the cover illustration, I see a young girl working in a field. That must be Amelia, the main character. As I flip through the text and read, I see that she is the one doing most of the acting, talking, and thinking. Let's look at this chart. Book title, Amelia's Road, author, Linda Jacobs Altman. Characters, who is the main character? The main character is Amelia, a young girl. The problem or conflict, what is the problem in the story? Amelia Luisa Martinez hates roads, Los Caminos. The roads take her migrant worker family to fields where they labor all day, to schools where no one knows Amelia's name, and to bleak cabins that are not homes. She longs for the day when she doesn't need to move again, and she can live in a tidy white house with a fine shade tree. Solution, resolution. How is the problem solved? One day, Amelia discovers an accidental road. At its end, she finds an amazing old tree. Its stately sense of permanence inspires her to put her own roots down in a special way by placing her favorite things in a box and burying it next to the tree so she will always have a place to go back to. You're going to go to MyOn and you're going to choose a fiction book and you're going to fill out the character, problem, conflict, solution, resolution table. Now it's your turn. Today and every day when you are reading, remember to determine the main character and the conflict in the story, because this helps readers understand the story better. During independent reading, you're going to read your book and think about who the main character is and what conflict or problem he or she is experiencing. Share your thinking using the character conflict chart in the class discussion. Enjoy your stories.